Hello everyone! Today is October 2nd, and since I didn't write yesterday, for me, today is the first day of Preptober. In a few minutes, I will be attending Kate Kavanaugh's live stream. She's live streaming on Twitch now, Mondays and Fridays, and I will attend that and kick off my planning. This isn't the beginning of planning my NaNoWriMo novel, since I've done some outlining and brainstorming, but today I'm going to be trying the snowflake method of outlining, which is new for me, but also kind of not, because it seems like a more structured version of how I'm used to outlining. So that will be interesting to try, and we'll see how that goes. I have a lot of not writing related tasks today, so we'll see how long this vlog is of the writing portion, but right now I'm just preparing breakfast, and eventually I will get coffee, but that will probably be after the live stream starts, because I think I'm going to miss the beginning of it in preparing breakfast. So while we're gearing up for the stream, here's kind of what I've got set up so far for the snowflake method. So I typed out this outline of what each of the snowflake method parts are, and then on each of the pages I have a description of what those are supposed to look like. So the sentence is 15 words to describe, sort of summarize the main plot in your novel, and then I have those outlines for each one of these. And that's what we're going to try to be filling in this morning. Although I probably won't jump right into this straight away. I will probably work on some other brainstorming or potentially drafting for a different project before jumping right into this. Alright, we've now moved on to the second sprint, and I'm going to be starting on the outline. Or outlining for today, not starting the outline. Okay, I joined halfway through the third sprint because I was making coffee. Last sprint, I switched over to outlining, and I was working on plotting out the three disasters, the main structure of the story, because I realized I didn't have any disasters yet, and it's going to be difficult to do the snowflake method until I have those. So we're going to keep working on those while I drink some coffee. Okay, so we just finished the third sprint, and I was working on the three disasters part of the outline, which I want to get nailed down before I move on to starting the snowflake method. And as I was thinking through, I was trying to figure out what to do for October, because no matter what, I have to keep drafting for the episodic piece that I post online. But I was concerned that I would have a difficult time balancing drafting for that part and also still getting my outline done in time, and not really sure how much time to spend on each to make sure that I get both done. But I'm thinking, since Kate Kavanaugh is doing these Preptober outline live streams every Monday and Friday, I thought it might be a good idea to separate my own time between Mondays and Fridays are specifically Preptober. I have to follow the whole live stream, but if I have continued inspiration, I can keep working after that, and then that's just whatever writing time I do on Mondays and Fridays is always prepping. And then Tuesday through Thursday is drafting for whatever time I write. So that might be something that I try out, a new weekly format, sort of a designated days type thing. But I think that might work out in getting a good balance between the two. Alright, the stream is ending, and I have made a lot of progress in brainstorming sporadically. Unfortunately, I haven't done a whole lot in one specific place. Instead, I've been sort of bouncing around between these tabs and adding things in as I do, but in doing so, I'm developing a lot of different plots, so I think that will be interesting to see how that turns out. Now that the stream's ending, I'm probably going to take a little bit of a break. Also, dog. Okay, I just picked character names for the other siblings. That took longer than expected, but that's always how names go. And so now I am going to attempt the sentence. I don't know if I have enough brainstorming done in order to write this effectively, but we're going to try our best to start this snowflake outline. Okay, so I've taken some time and I wrote one example sentence and then 2 paragraphs, and I wrote some notes underneath. I was referencing this example of using the snowflake method to outline Harry Potter, which was helpful in coming up with sort of that structure that I was looking for. I'm not sure how I feel about this method yet, because I think I was right in my original thought that I needed to have more brainstorming done before I started this. And so, in a way, it's shown me where the holes are, because I definitely look at that paragraph and I'm like, wow, I don't have a developed story yet. But that's also where you're supposed to start. And so I feel like I haven't done enough yet in order to fill this out accurately, but I also know that this is meant to be something that you develop over time and go back and change. So, not really sure quite how I feel about it yet. It's either I don't have a developed enough story, and that's why my sentence and my paragraph just aren't feeling right, or I just don't have a good story, and this is showing me that I need to go back to the drawing board with some of the things, because I was going through the paragraph and I just don't feel like my conflict is enough yet. So I don't know if that's just because I haven't developed it enough yet, or because the conflict plans that I had just weren't good, and there isn't enough conflict in my story. So I probably won't move on from the paragraph yet until I nail those 2 down, because I don't want to have to retroactively do more things when I know that there are holes in my story that I need to fill. I'd rather fill those holes ahead of time and then do a more accurate outline. So if I do more any today, it'll probably be going back into the brainstorming section and sort of filling out with what I figured out from the sentence of the paragraph. And figuring out sort of where my focus of the story is. I'm also not sure how I feel about the paragraph format, because it focuses only on the main plot, and with this current story, I have as many as 4 sort of main/subplots going on, which could be a sign that I've taken on too much and that the story is just convoluted, but that will be something that I look at throughout the month and sort of report back on, whether or not it becomes more helpful as my idea becomes more developed. So I think with that, I'm going to wrap up my prepping for today. If the next time that I prep is on Monday, my goals will be to sort of nail out that paragraph in a way that I'm happy with, or at least experiment with it more to see if I can figure out how to make it something that I'm more happy with. So that will involve hammering out a lot of the details of the main plot to make sure that that's down solid, because it seems like the paragraph of the snowflake method doesn't really involve any subplots, so that would mean that I'm focusing on just the main plot until that paragraph with the 3 disasters are sort of set up. So it will be figuring out that, and that will be my main focus. But otherwise, I'm going to move on to classwork and other things that I need to do today. But thank you for following along with day 1 of Preptober for me, and let's hope this month goes well. See you next time.